I got no idea what his deal was. James Comey.
I think he rose through the ranks as an FBI, a good FBI agent, allegedly, and then he became the director of the FBI for a while. So you helped him with his career, according to what Vlad read or heard. Just like they asked you about Giuliani. Remember?
Giuliani, I know that for sure. And that I know for sure. He wanted to come and thank me. He never did. And that was that. But James Comey.
Yeah, that was a new one on me.
And then 70 people. Okay. I don't know where these stats come from. Doesn't make a difference. Like I said, if the three of us gave information.
So, but the same thing that you were saying about the fake scenario with us, they used what you said against however many people, be it 70 or 20 or whatever it was, right?
Well, no, he testified.
I don't know.
There's a difference.
I didn't testify.
Well, he didn't testify in 70 trials.
No, you couldn't have. Physically
that's
impossible.
the whole point here.
I testified I tell you right now, I testified in 3 trials. 3.
3.
What
about the other 67? He's like, right?
Defendants on those 3 trials. One trial was 1 defendant. One trial was 1 defendant. Another trial was 2 defendants. So 4 people.
That's 4 people.
Where's the other 66 people?
66 missing.
So if they say that what you provided put 70 people away and you only testified in 3 trials, they got to be able to use this information for a long time.
I don't know how they credit you for what. It's not that I never prided myself on. Like I said,
it wasn't something you were thinking about.
You know how I feel about testifying. I hate it. I hated it then. I hate it now, and it's something I never want to do again. I never want to do it again.
But this is the system. And you know, like you brought up Donald Trump, they did the same thing to him with all of the, you know, I'm going to go get indictments and do this, and I'm going to get you indicted on 50 counts and whatever. And the whole thing is like, if I get 50 counts against you, I know one's going to stick. You could finagle your way out of 48 of those, but you're not finagling your way out of 50.
It's just the system.
There's another thing called relevant conduct. You ever heard of that?
No.
Negative.
Pull that up.
Relative conduct?
Let me give you a legal lesson.
Go ahead.
Relevant conduct.
Relevant conduct. Okay.
So now just what he said.
Putting the 2 words together, I'm gathering information, but go ahead.
Here's my last case. It mirrored Trump's case. They hit me with 16 counts. 9 counts were minimum mandatory 20 to life. 6 counts were minimum mandatory 10 to life. And 1 count was 0 to 5. Conspiracy to money launder, conspiracy to wire fraud. A lot of them were duplicate counts.
That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
So really, at the end of the day, if you cut it in half, it was 8 counts. Okay? They just double it up. Like Giantonio said, they come at you with a shotgun approach. Okay, here we go. In federal criminal sentencing, relevant conduct refers to the range of criminal activity considered when determining a defendant's offense level, guideline sentencing range. Sentencing range. This principle goes beyond the specific crime the defendant was convicted of, including actions and omissions that were part of the same criminal scheme or plan or that were reasonably foreseeable. Now, let me explain to you what this does, all right? And you would not notice unless you get indicted and you go to jail and you face the federal guideline system. You can go to trial on 16 of those counts. If you don't beat all of them, okay, and let's say you beat 15 of them, okay,
that's scary.
You still get sentenced on 16 of them versus, even though you beat them, because here's why. It's the range of criminal activity, okay? So now, this principle goes beyond the specific crime. That means the crime that you were not convicted of. A specific crime the defendant was convicted of. So you got convicted of 1 crime.
Out of 16.
Doesn't mean you didn't get convicted. You beat the actions or the omissions that were part of the same criminal scheme.
I see.
Or that were reasonably foreseeable. That's how they get around it. So, for example, that's why they give you a machine. It's called the shotgun approach of charges.
Yep.
They could have came at me, or Trump, right, with 1 count of wire fraud, 1 count of money laundering, 2 counts, okay? No, they come at you with 16 counts. They make it look really bad, And as you're going through the system, you're getting the counts taken off. So let's say you wind up with 8 counts, right? Well, what looks more foreseeable, beating 8, 10 counts or beating 1 or 2, right?
So they make it almost impossible for you to win.
So let's say you get convicted. You got convicted of the tax evasion, 0 to 5.
Okay.
But now all the other ones, you got convicted of that, but all the other ones you were acquitted. When you go for sentencing, they have another hearing, sentencing hearing. And they bring up they bring up the counts you got. They don't say you got acquitted of them. What they do is they take the actions and the omissions in those counts that you beat, and they throw them back into the sentencing guideline, which automatically goes above and beyond what you got convicted of.
Unbelievable.
So you still get the 15, 20 years.
Yeah. You can't win.
That just makes sense.
You can't win.
No.
That just makes no sense.
Just
But it makes sense if you're the government.
Does it make sense the way I'm explaining it?
It does. I could tell you about a court case that I'm personally aware of where a judge ordered that evidence was not allowed in the courtroom because it gave an unfair advantage to the defense over the prosecution. Let that sink in. What that is evidence that proves that a defendant is innocent of the crime they were charged with, and a judge took it out of the courtroom because it gave an unfair advantage to the defense over the prosecution. That's the justice system.
Well, I got one better for you. We talked about the grand jury, how they keep bringing information to the grand jury.
Yep.
You're not there to defend yourself when they bring the information. So it's a one-sided trial.
Well, and plus, you're not allowed to be there.
Correct.
That's the thing. Not just that you can't, even if you hired an attorney to defend you, that attorney cannot attend that grand jury.
That's one disadvantage you have. That's why they can indict a ham sandwich. Here's the next disadvantage you have, a big disadvantage, okay? It's called hearsay evidence. Now, let's say I want to put you on the stand as my witness. You can't talk about certain things because it's considered hearsay. But what they could do is, at the grand jury, they could take the witness and an agent. The witness just got done telling the agent is now qualified to go testify. But I can't tell you, and then you go testify on my behalf. That's hearsay. Did I just make sense? The way I explained this?
Very much one-sided.
So not to get into my case, I will get into my case. And I have
we can't right now.
I have my grand jury minutes, okay? What I will say is you have a witness. Now, usually you need 2 people to go get an indictment, right? Saying the same thing. But when you got one guy saying one thing, he goes and tells a federal agent. That agent now becomes a witness.
It's no longer hearsay.
Like, I forget what the terminology is. It's like called it's a professional witness or something. It's a credible witness now.
Credible witness, yeah.
Now they got 2 witnesses. Those 2 go to the grand jury.
And that's good.
That's
and
it.
They get an indictment.
You're
That's
indicted.
Good.
That's good.
It's that simple.
Right? Now
it's all one-sided.
So I make it up.
You
I
can't
say,
win.
"Oh, Sonny, I saw him driving 106 miles an hour down the freeway yesterday." I tell it to a cop. The cop shows up and testifies that he heard that Sonny was doing 106 miles an hour down the freeway, and you're indicted. Your ass is dragged into court. And because it was a grand jury indictment, you're not getting out of it.
Well, here's what happens now. You're standing there. You got people looking at you like, well, why are you here? You know, the government must be right with something. Well, because you wouldn't be standing here with all these charges. So right away, the spotlight's on you. You look like,
You're the bad guy.
Right.
Yeah.
So you already have a way uphill battle, right? Then it comes time for the trial. And like I said, if I tell you something, right, part of my defense, you now want to go up and testify on my behalf, just like the agent did for the witness to go get the grand jury testimony indictment, okay? That's not allowed because it's hearsay evidence.
So you can't
win.
You can't win. You
Basically,
can't
you can't
defend
win.
yourself. You can't
So
do anything to help yourself.
So you better see. Okay, let's take right now. Puff Daddy.
Okay.
P Diddy.
He did.
Okay. You know why he's going to get life?
Because a lot of people are going, and
I tell you why he's going to get life. Okay. Because they're going to offer him a plea, and he ain't going to take it.
Yep.
You're right.
If they got a good case, they're going to offer him 30 years. If their case is weakened, and they come down to, hey, what's his name? Sean Combs?
Yep.
Yeah, that's his name.
Mr. Combs, take 10 years. I didn't do it. I'm innocent.
It doesn't matter. You got 10 years in front of you. Take it.
Right.
Yeah.
He ain't going to take it. Because in his mind,
I can beat it.
yeah.
So you're going to wind up doing life, is what you're
So
saying.
now what happens is he's going to go to trial.
He gets railroaded.
He's going to get hit with, I don't know how many counts. He's not going to beat all of them. Okay. He only has to get convicted of one. Now they bring in this relevant conduct.
Yep.
And he winds up getting life anyway.
Wow.
That's what's going to happen.
Government wins.
If you want to make a bet, I'm not a gambler. I don't condone gambling. Although they're trying to get me to go to Talking Stick Casino to go
I
pull.
think we have to go. I'm sorry.
No, they want me to go there and pull. Why do they want me to go there? They want me to. I'm not a gambler. They want me to go there and pull.
I want to see your face when you hit it.
What do you call them? Jackpot.
The slot machine.
The slot machines.
Yeah.
Who does? The casino?
Yeah. Just stand there. Listen to this. Just stand there on Instagram Live or whatever the hell it is, right? Let us film you playing slots. I don't gamble. Okay. I may or may not do it. If you see me, then you know what it's about.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying
Don't do
is,
it without me. I gotta go because
So
I like the slot.
If I see you do
machines.
that, I know
I
you
like
sold
slot
out.
machines. They don't like me, but I like slot machines.
I got a free lunch.
What'd they offer you? A sandwich for the day?
Sandwich.
They're giving me a comp.
Yeah, they're
I
gonna
got a
give you a
free-
room and
Yeah.
a room by the pool.
Some company.
Yeah,
Anyway,
room by the pool.
what I'm saying is that's why he's going to get life.
Yeah, no, that adds up. You got no shot at winning these cases.
Take-
the way
take
you're
R.
talking
Kelly.
about. Yeah, another guy.
Another winner, right?
Another guy.
Another guy,
Yeah.
whatever you want to call him.
Yeah,
Same thing. You don't think he got offered a plea? I think he did get offered a plea.
I'm sure he did.
Sure, he got offered a plea. They don't want to go to trial. They want the conviction. He goes, blows trial. He's got 30 years. Good riddance. What's going to happen with this case? Same thing.
Yeah.
No, that adds up.
They'll come down. They'll come down if they got such a. I'm not saying what case they got. I'm not
Yeah,
involved.
we don't know. We don't.
I don't want to be involved. If they came with 5 years, you think he's going to take it?
No.
I think he's going to get life, and that's it.
You're right.
You know something though? I got to be honest with you. I used to really love his music, the original Bad Boy with when the Biggie.
When Biggie was around, and
My
all
favorite
those guys,
rapper. My favorite rapper of all time is Biggie.
Biggie was good.
Biggie, Tupac, and then I say nowadays 50 Cent.
50
okay.
Cent, yeah.
See, I didn't like the rap. None of it.
Well,
Not because of the music, but because it killed my industry. I had long hair. I was a rock and roller.
Yeah,
I was in
that's-
bands, so it killed all of our record deals.
being from New York, being from New York, and Biggie was from
yeah,
Brooklyn,
yeah.
and that whole
Biggie Smalls, baby.
it's a whole thing.
That's where it started, brother.
right. So
The underground.
I got to be honest with you. Now, I'll listen to music now and then that's just Biggie. But anything with his music on there, like that P. Diddy, I don't know. I just
Different time. You know.
just makes me think about. I don't know if I should be saying this, but Michael Jackson. You know, I mean, before when you were Michael Jackson, you love his music, right?
Yeah.
But then when they came out with what really went on, do you listen to his music the same way?
No.
Probably not. Most of the public is going to make their own opinion. You know.
R. Kelly had songs we all listen to. You care to listen to them now because you think of the person singing? You go,
Yeah. I was never a fan anyway, but
no, I'll
I get
pass.
it.
Yeah, no, I'll pass. No, I'm not saying. Listen, I love all music. You know, Pink Floyd's my my all-time favorite band.
Really?
For me,
Yeah.
Led Zeppelin. The song
I'm
Kashmir.
going to bring the producer for Roger Waters into the studio on your podcast.
Let's do it.
No.